Today is November 27th. Just recently had Thanksgiving, and my sister, um, she came over to the house for a bit so we could celebrate together, and also kind of so I can help her deal with some of the things she's got going on in her life. Hopefully, it's helpful to her. Really don't know if there's more I could be doing, but I'm trying to be helpful. We wound up going to my husband's uncle's house for Thanksgiving, and it was weird in a lot of ways. You see, when I first moved down here, um, it was less than welcome by some members of his family. And for the first Thanksgiving, my husband had received a text message from his uncle saying that he was invited to their house for Thanksgiving, but he had to come alone. And more or less that he basically needed to um, basically cut me out of his life. And rather than dealing with that or really paying attention to it at all, um, I decided to hell with all of that. Let's go see my uncle in North Carolina, who didn't care. He just, I mean, we were family. No, nothing else really mattered other than being family. And in the decade, basically, that we were together, I never once set foot in his uncle's house. I barely had spoken with his uncle. And also, his grandmother had plenty of issues with it. My sister in law and brother in law, when they would come over around holiday times, they would always stop by everybody else's house as well just to say hi and celebrate. And they would tell me about all the various things they would say about us, which is kind of silly considering the fact that, I mean, I never really talked to them. They didn't know me, they didn't make an effort to know me, but they certainly had an opinion of me. And at his funeral, when we had the slideshow of pictures playing, they included pictures from our wedding, of which his grandmother wondered why she never went to it. We invited most of his family, and we either got no response or were told that they just couldn't make it. So, from the very beginning, there were a lot of people down here that they never made But now that he's passed, suddenly people care. I don't know if I should feel in some way happy about that, or if there's any expectation of gratitude that in his passing I'm not forgotten. But the bottom line is, with all of that, it just pisses me off. It makes me very angry with people. People who, in the best of situations, make the worst of it and seem to expect something when things go wrong and they try to make amends. But it's already too late. My husband was hoping that I could get to see the side of his family that he liked and all the good things that he had said about them. He knew of their faults, he told me of their faults, but he still spoke good of them. And it took him passing for something, I guess you could say, resembling good to finally just bubble up to the surface. And the bottom line is, I hate everything about it. And while on some level I do forgive a lot of the people because they now have to live with what they've done for the rest of their lives. But deep down, push come to shove with all of it, I don't think I'll ever truly be okay with any of it. It's just a fact in the past. And whenever I see them, whatever good they decide to present to me or help they're willing to pass my way. That's all I can see in it. But that's just something I wanted to get off my chest for the holidays. I hope everyone had a decent holiday.